To solve the base liquidity of block rewards, we have partnered with Ripple and the XRPL to provide base block rewards in the form of XRP. XRP will also be used as the network gas token. So this means when you stake or delegate ROOT tokens, you will earn XRP. Welcome to the DeFi Standard, and this is Mickey B. Fresh.
The ROOT Network. The ROOT Network is a culmination of 5 years of strategy, research, and development to create the foundation for open, scalable metaverse infrastructure. The XRP token is going to play a key role. Monica Long, GM of Ripple, had this to say: "We are thrilled for Ripple to partner with Fluffworld on the exciting project of the Open Metaverse. For nearly 10 years, the XRPL ledger has served as the best-in-class capabilities for settlement and liquidity of any tokenized asset, from currencies to collectibles. The partnership is a testament to the robustness of the XRPL ledger to support a metaverse project of this scale. The team behind Fluffworld has led the conversation around the Open Metaverse, an approach that shapes the best practices, values, and technological architecture needed to build the new interoperable world of Web3, a path to a digital world where boundaries between user experience silos are broken down and worlds and experiences become interoperable. At the heart of the Open Metaverse, Fluffworld has architected the ROOT Network." Aaron McDonald, co-founder of Centrality, the team behind Fluffworld, had this to say: "Partnering with the Ripple team on the ROOT Network opens a whole new world of possibilities for our community and theirs. We're excited about how we can further extend the utility of XRP as the default gas token of this metaverse network, while bringing the capabilities of the ROOT Network and the Open Metaverse through XRPL's substantial global infrastructure footprint to developers." This is a stunning development for Ripple and XRP holders. As this new XRP use case unfolds, XRP will literally be used now to power the Open Metaverse and will serve as the gas token for the ROOT Network. The ROOT Network is designed in a way where any token can be used for gas to simplify the user experience. But in the background, every token is swapped for XRP and used as gas to process transactions. This means that XRP is the base pair token, and each and every token on the ROOT Network will need an equal amount of XRP to provide liquidity. So it's not too hard to see how this plays out, especially if the ROOT Network gathers momentum with new users and applications. More users and applications means more tokens, and more tokens means more XRP is needed to be sunk into these liquidity pools, taking it off the open market. And the laws of supply and demand simply dictate more demand, less supply, higher price. Aaron had a great conversation with David Schwartz, the CTO of Ripple. Let's take a listen to some of the highlights.
I'm David Schwartz. I'm the CTO at Ripple, co-creator of the XRP ledger. I'm here with Aaron McDonald. So I have to ask you, what do you like about the XRP ledger?
When I first started looking into it, I was quite surprised because there's quite a bit of rhetoric out there, and if you only investigate things at that level, you might be misled in terms of what's actually being built. I think it was a very clever solution to solving the energy problem and performance problem of proof of work. And the architecture of it, in some ways, if you implement it as the protocol was designed, is possibly more decentralized than proof of stake, because users get to choose the validators that they want to listen to. And so you can have this kind of layers of decentralization within the network that aren't available in other architectures, which I thought was really interesting.
So tell us what you guys are doing and why it's so interesting.
So we've been working for a while now to figure out what is the ideal user experience for bringing people into Web3. Our teams have been building at different layers. In the protocol layer, come up with some interesting inventions there that we've worked on and had patented. In the application layer, around wallet user experience, and more recently around the content space as funnels for users to come into Web3. All those little bits of stuff that people have been working on for the last 5 years, we tied together recently in a white paper called Enter the Futureverse.
The Futureverse. It is the monster white paper drop that Fluff, Aaron McDonald, all the crazy mofos who are connected to that ecosystem, they drop something big.
And the Futureverse as a concept is about bringing together what we'd call like the Open Metaverse operating system. So there's different components that are necessary to drive safe user adoption for more users an onboarding experience that feels familiar to them, and world-leading content experiences to draw them in. And there's a whole host of things below the surface on that protocol layer that we've been working on, particularly the Root network.
The Root network, a decentralized blockchain network optimized for user experience and onboarding. Yes, it's a layer 1. They're building a goddamn layer 1. This blew my mind when I saw it.
The Root network is a new approach to building out a layer 1. So we stepped back from what's faster and cheaper and said, what's the best user experience? And the team put together a bunch of protocols that we think deliver a superior user experience and built those into the core of the network architecture.
Fees from the NFT runtime are distributed to network stakers and validators. The Root network will also integrate the XRPL XLS NFT standard as a runtime, enabling compatible with the XRPL NFT ecosystem and infrastructure. So there's a unique multi-token economy that the Root network has. And this economy enables the optimization of both gas and initial user onboarding. In the Root network, the primary network token is Root. It is designed as a network security and governance token used in the network's proof-of-stake consensus. It is isolated from the gas token by design. To solve the base liquidity of block rewards, we have partnered with Ripple and the XRPL to provide base block rewards in the form of XRP. XRP will also be used as the network gas token. So this means when you stake or delegate Root tokens, you will earn XRP. This combination will allow the Root network to grow in value and provide a high degree of liquidity for rewards for block producers. So now by block producers and delegators earning XRP, they have a highly liquid, highly valuable token. It's a top 5 to be able to utilize in earning it. And that's a huge plus for a new network launching. So the Root network token economy. The token economy is driven by several key use cases. Governance of the Root network protocol. So Root is the network governance token. Root is also the network token used by node validators and delegators to secure the proof-of-stake network. Validators or delegators who stake Root will earn fees from various network activities to ensure there is sufficient incentive to operate a node and stake. The block rewards for staking will come in several forms. Root is also the network token used by node validators. So validators and delegators who stake Root will earn fees from various network activities to ensure there is sufficient incentive to operate a node and stake. So the block rewards for staking will come in several forms. Gas spent in the network is distributed to block producers. The default gas token is XRP, which provides validators with instant real value for producing blocks. Then there'll be an initial bootstrapping pool of 5% of the total supply of Root tokens, which will go through the tokenomics shortly, will be distributed to block validators and stakers for the first 24 months. So you'll earn Root and XRP for staking Root. So there'll be a gas fee exchange. And then we have the Fluff World utility and game economy. Root is the primary in-game token for Fluff World game ecosystem and can be used for a range of other things. Then there's the data marketplace. So Root can be used to incentivize individual and community-owned and controlled data sharing with third parties via the token service platform. As it's a fungible token in its own right, Root can, of course, be used for any other type of utility. Developers can leverage the liquidity and community of Root to bootstrap their own activities and games. The nature of a multi-token economy means that the Root holder community can get access to these tokens via staking in the network. On the token distribution for the Root token supply, which is 12 billion tokens and will be distributed in several pools. These are subject to finalization and community feedback. So this is the most up-to-date details that we have. 10% will go to community rewards of the 12 billion, and this will go to holders of the Fluff World content NFTs, and they will receive an airdrop of Root token in 2 parts. The first will be an upfront drop, and the second will leverage the time-delayed reverse claim mechanism pioneered by Universe XYZ. The earlier you claim, the lower your rewards. The remaining tokens will go to the pool, so the latest claimants receive the most rewards. I like that. That's a great mechanism. So then 15% will go to the land mechanics. This is holders of the land in the Third Kingdom. And then we have 10% will go to an ecosystem fund. 5% will then be for bootstrapping the validators. So since the validators will be also earning root just for the initial 100 weeks, 5% will go to the validators. So that means you'll earn XRP as well as root if you're delegating or staking root. There will be a community treasury, which will be 25%, and that will be locked for 50 weeks and then released at 1% a week until they are exhausted, and the DAO will control the allocation. Then 10% of the sends burn to mine. So SenseNet was the original, basically, test network, but it was live on Ethereum. That was a layer 2 that tested a lot of this technology. So like root networks, runtimes, the bridges, all that has been fully tested. So one thing we didn't talk about in the video as much was that this isn't a bunch of companies coming together to build a new blockchain. It's a bunch of technologies coming together that's already been built out that they're just putting together in one technology stack.
But what is the Futureverse? The Futureverse, I think, is probably Web3's leading vertically integrated metaverse company now. We put together 11 different businesses to create the Futureverse with capability from base protocols and infrastructure right up to applications and content and IP. And we cover the bases from blockchain through to tools to enable creators to build games and assets, through to communications and payments protocols, through to world-class IP and partnerships with some of the world's largest brands to activate those technologies through. I think now over 300 people in 16 countries around the world working together to build, what we think is the infrastructure or operating system of the Open Metaverse.
And then integrating with the XRP ledger, and as it gets built out with AMMs and with its side chains, because it's acting like, I said layer 2, but it's really like a side chain. But it has these custom runtimes, which means the experience of using the XRP NFT should be pretty fluent. And I think how we have to think of this more now going into the future, and we'll see it with Flare as we see more of these cross-chain dApps, but I think we'll think more of it like you're using the application instead of worrying about what blockchain you're on. And I think that's going to be something that, as those who are invested in tokens and coins of networks might not want to hear that, but that's the reality. It's all going to get abstracted away. And that's why there won't only be 10 chains or 5 chains. There's going to be hundreds of chains within chains, as this is the foundation. And as they interconnect them, they will be used based on the value that's in their protocol. So for example, what's the value in the protocol of why Root Network is using the XRP ledger? One, it's very fast settlement, fast speeds for transactions, and it's cheap. So it could source liquidity easily. And then the protocol is the AMM that's being built into the network layer. That's what gives it value. And then the ability to have the sidechains and the NFTs, that's where the value comes from. Flare, well, what's the protocol value? The FTSO system, and that's built into the heart of it, and is the beating heart of Flare. And then the stake connector, which is the attestation system. That's all built in and uses the native network consensus. But that's why the value is in the protocol, not just the digital asset. The asset is attached to a protocol. It won't exist if it didn't have a protocol or a network. It doesn't live in isolation, and it's not just a ticker on an exchange. So there's 5% then I think that will go to the advisors, and 15% will go to the Futureverse company, 5% to early contributors, and 5% to advisors, which I think is pretty fair. And the Futureverse company will have it locked for 100 weeks. That's a long time. So that's 2 years. Early contributors who contribute liquidity will receive 5%, no lockup. Advisors will have a 100-week lockup and then invested over 100 weeks. So there's not going to be much of this root that's going to get out there. That's for sure. Going on tokenomics-wise, there's no token sale. And by detaching it as being not the gas token, it encourages everyone to stake it. And the way they're doing the airdrops, it's going to be a little different because the longer you wait to claim, the more you're going to get. I think I love that game, that mechanism design right there, because that will really have people, waiting. And if the community's patient, it will just be less supply on the market. And if everyone's going to stake, so having XRP as the reward token is pretty powerful of an incentive for a new network. It's not often that you earn another blue chip crypto with a new token that you're staking on a new network.
Mechanism is essentially transaction fees generate a pool of rewards, and a pool of rewards is then, which is in XRP, is then distributed through the validator consensus mechanism. And in addition to that, we will add in more rewards with the root token, so you'll kind of earn double rewards. And in a sense, if you stake root tokens, you can receive XRP. So it's kind of like farming XRP with root.
Right.
And then if you're a savvy validator, you might want to create some of these token pools from, say, the ASTO, which is our ASM Altered State Machine AI protocol, to XRP. And then so when people are paying gas in their ASTO tokens, you're earning, those tokens. And so you can start to build up a basket of tokens in the ecosystem.
And then there's going to be the AMM pools that out the gate aren't going to be integrated into Root, but once the AMM goes live, it's literally going to be like attached at the hip of the XRP ledger. So that's why this is going to be part of XRP ecosystem forever. So it's like right there. And it's going to be just one of many interconnected XRPL protocol chains. That's right on XRPLF's GitHub. So this is the network of networks is beginning. We're going to have an EVM sidechain. We're going to have the hook sidechain. And then you see all different types of other types of sidechains. And that's the next amendment that's up. It's the sidechains first. And they could launch Root without the sidechain amendment because it looks like the way they built the custom runtimes, it's like more interconnected, but it's its own independent chain. It's not built on XRP ledger tech. Root network is built on Substrate, which is Polkadot's architecture, and it uses EVM smart contracts, and then it built custom runtimes. So even though Substrate's the underlying foundation and tech stack, they built their own custom runtimes into it. And they are using aspects of XRP ledger. Those runtimes, it's like making it plug and play for dApps to be able to dApp developers to build things without having to deal with the low level complexities and integration with consensus and all that. They don't have to deal with any of that. The Root network has custom runtimes for non-fungible assets, gas economy, fungible assets, decentralized exchange, oracles, and more. Will provide the ingredients for creators to build applications and content without being a smart contract developer. This also provides a world-class onboarding experience. The Root Network NFT runtime provides a single, unified, network-wide experience for NFTs. In other networks, NFTs exist at the individual contract layer In the Root network, NFTs exist in a core network runtime. This provides a common standard to build interoperability, a uniform approach to minting, royalties, and structuring, especially in the metadata and content formats, is essential for delivering the asset interoperability people imagine at the application layer. The NFT runtime also includes unique features, network-wide royalty enforcement, native multi-wallet split and tiered royalties for creators, NFT to NFT swaps, native static and cold minting options, and build NFT dApps without needing to develop or deploy smart contracts. And having this very fluent experience, having identity. And then we have the auto chains, which we didn't get a chance to talk about, but in the next video I'll cover more in depth, which is the custodial institutional shard of the Root network that will be KYC compliant and have a unnamed custodian, a big name custodian, they say, with accounts on every network and decentralized identity. And then that will be where like the big DeFi is going to take place. So that's pretty interesting. I mean, using terms like best in breed, best in class, that's very Polysign-like. So I'm not saying that they're connected. I can find anything, but custodial network, metaverse, Web3, that all fits into what, Polysign ultimately is going to have to custody. They said they'll custody NFTs. And there's a new custodian out that I'll just name drop it here, Palisades, which is built by 5 or 6 Ripple engineers, many of them from Iceland, from the Algorand acquisition, who were working as senior engineers. Now they launched this custodian, a Web3 focused institutional well, it's not even institutional, but it's for Web3, for VCs, for hedge funds, and it's a little more forward leaning than a Polysign to standard custody, but it looks like it's built on the exact same tech. So that's pretty interesting. Hope everyone enjoyed. This was just an overview.